I make a motion that we go ahead and approve the minutes of the April 16th regular meeting. The April 16th executive session and the April 16th regular meeting minutes.
I'll second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Right now.
Motion passes 7-0. Approval of claims. Any questions or comments regarding the claims? If not, do we have a motion?
Make a motion claims be paid.
I'll second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart?
Yes.
Mr. Poor?
Aye.
Ridenhour?
Yes.
Carry 7-0. Personnel considerations, Dr. Wiedenhofer.
Board, we do have two folks, Michael Duke and Orion Funkhauser, that we will bring to you for coaching considerations for the football team. So if you have no objections, I ask that you can vote on both of them at the same time, or if you want to do them individually, we can.
Do we have a motion?
I move to accept Michael and Ryan as football coaches.
I'll second.
And vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yay.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Ms. Boots?
Yes.
Yes.
Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour?
Yes.
All right. And other considerations.
Board, in your packet for your consideration this evening, we do have retirements, resignations, appointments, and reassignments for you. It is that time of the year where it's a busy year of hiring and folks retiring and moving on. We do have a lot of our MSD retirements that we are wishing them lots of luck, and a lot of them are very excited. They keep talking about tropical islands and water, so I don't know what that's about, but we are super excited for them. We do have two appointments in here that we will talk a little bit later on, but first we'll ask for your approval on your consent items for our personnel considerations for tonight.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion we approve.
I'll second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour?
Yes.
All right. Next up, we have our special reports, top 10 students. Dr. Wiedenhofer.
Board, I'm excited tonight, and I know these guys are excited because we have a packed house in here of some pretty good-looking kids. They're all dressed up, even though it's like 83 degrees out, and they'd rather have shorts and T-shirts on and flip-flops, but they're dressed up here tonight because we're excited to show them off. But we're also excited for the moms and dads who are here with us tonight as we kind of celebrate a little bit. One thing that I want to say is we are super excited for our top 10s, our Val and Sal's for this year because they have worked extremely hard. One of the privileges that I had the honor to be at was at their awards banquet on the beginning of the month. And this is the exciting number for the whole class, for our current group of seniors, over $1.3 million in scholarship monies awarded to that group. And for our school of our size and the number of seniors that we have graduating, that is an awfully big amount. So we are super proud of them and super proud of their accomplishments. So we've invited them tonight because I wanted you to see them tonight, and moms and dads, because they get a big hand too, because it's a busy time for them. But I want to introduce Mr. Havens, our high school principal, and I want him to give each one of our kids a little bit of a shout out tonight. So Mr. Havens.
Well, thank you, Dr. Wiedenhofer, and members of the school board. Thank you. Again, this is a very special night. That's something we look forward to every year, recognizing our top 10 students. And again, we have some outstanding students. And when I read about them and what some of the things they're going into and where they're going, it's just amazing what our kids are. And I think back to when I was in school, and I wish I was this smart. So we got some great kids here, but a really special time. So when I read your name, if you please stand up with your parents, and so you can be recognized. So we'll begin with Holly Schneider. Holly Schneider's here with her dad. Holly plans to attend the College of University of Notre Dame. She plans to study in neuroscience and behavior. Her favorite high school class was psychology and AP Lit. Some of her favorite memories she'll take with her is the event of outside the classroom, especially football and basketball games. Her advice to future classes: put in the work and it will pay off later. And again, Holly Schneider was our Lilly Scholar winner, and she will be our salutatorian for this class. So I left that out. So Holly Schneider and her father. Sarah Kelly. Sarah Kelly's here with her parents. She plans to be working at Scoops this summer before starting at Grace College in the fall. Her favorite high school class was calculus. Okay. Her favorite high school memories include tennis, fun events like prom, extracurricular activities, hanging out with her friends. Her advice to future classes: put yourself out there and try new things. High school is a great way to figure out what you like and dislike, your strengths and weaknesses. You could do this by joining a new club, sports, or taking class you never considered. You never know what you may end up enjoying. So Sarah Kelly and her parents. And so you know, board, what I'm reading is outside our office on all the students, so when students walk by, they can read this information also. Next we have is Avery Young. There she is with her parents. Her plans are to attend college and study pre-med and chemistry. She just not sure where yet. Have you made a decision yet? IU. That's okay. Not quite Purdue, but that's okay. So. Her favorite class in high school was HOE class. She loves going to all the sporting events. Her advice to future classes: enjoy your time because it goes very fast. Yes, it does. So, Avery Young, ladies and gentlemen. Isabel Reiner. Isabel plans to attend IU Fort Wayne and get a bachelor's in nursing. Her favorite high school class was HOE. What she enjoyed most about high school was going to football and basketball games. Her advice to the future classes: stay on top of your work, take advantage of the educational opportunities that are given to you. So, thank you, Isabel. Next, we have Frances Krebs. Frances plans to attend Indiana University, majoring in human biology while doing pre-optometry. Good. Her favorite class in high school was chemistry. Her favorite memories are all of high school sporting events. Her favorite advice to class is work hard. So when it's hard to pronounce some of the words, you know they're pretty darn smart. So Frances Krebs and her parents. Kylie Caswell is an alternate for regional track, so she's down at the track meet at Carroll. But I think her parents are here, so if Kylie Caswell's parents could stand up. Kylie Caswell plans after graduation to attend Purdue University, majoring in nursing. Her favorite high school classes are HOE. Her favorite memories are attending sporting events with her friends. Her advice for future classes: enjoy high school and take advantage of the time you have. And Kylie will be our valedictorian this year. So congratulations to that. Samuel Yarnell. Sammy's here. Are your parents here?
Just give me tonight.
Perfect. Sammy is planning on attending Grand Valley State University, where he is studying biology, along with running cross country and track. His favorite high school class has been HOE. His favorite memory was when he won regionals in track during his freshman year. Samuel's advice to future classes: make the most out of your time in high school because you will never have time like it again. Sammy, and you're going to regionals too?
Yeah.
And you're going to be at regionals Thursday night with the boys out at Carroll. So congratulations, Sammy. Peyton Manahan. There's Peyton and his parents. Peyton is planning on working at the City Parks Department summer maintenance crew. In the fall, he plans on attending IU Bloomington to study history with the intent of going to law school. His favorite classes are U.S. history with Mr. Smith during his junior year. What he enjoyed most at high school was football, summer weights, practices, and games. Peyton's advice to future classes: from the point you walk in the day you graduate, do your best at everything, because no matter what anyone says, every assignment, test, quiz counts. Great advice. Great job. Thank you, Peyton. And Anna Shannon, her parents, she plans to attend Embry-Riddle University and plans to become an aerospace engineer. Her favorite high school class was French class. Her favorite memory was going to state and fine arts academic team and winning. Her advice to future classes: don't stress too much and stay organized. Very easy when you're one of the top 10 students. So. Congratulations. Last and certainly not least is Michaela Zeeb. Michaela plans to go to Purdue University West Lafayette and major in chemical engineering with an emphasis on pharmaceutical manufacturing. Her favorite high school class was psychology. What Michaela enjoyed most about high school years was hanging out with her friends and extracurricular activities. Her advice for future classes: make sure to stay focused and use all the resources at your disposal to achieve your goals. Great advice, Michaela. Michaela Z, President. Members of the board, Dr. Wienhofer, those are our top 10 students, some outstanding students, great, and you can hear from what they're going to do, they're going to do some amazing things in the future. So very proud of them. It was, I think all of them started their career at Angola High School and went all the way through, so it's great to be a principal and see them grow all the way through high school. But just an outstanding class. Really enjoyed having them as being their principal and having them as students. So thank you, guys.
I know that your pictures are requested, seniors, before you leave. Mom and Dad, we won't let you go through the rest of the grueling meeting, so you can get in and out. But congratulations to you, and we look forward to seeing you the 30th, right? Thursday night. I got to keep it all straight, yes. And then you're hitting the mound tomorrow. At what time are they?
9:15, we'll be at the mound. We'll start at the high school, walk through the high school, then they'll go out to the elementaries, then we'll go to the mound about 9:15. We'll shut down the mound, go to the middle school, then we'll go to practice.
My favorite part of the day. Excellent. So congratulations to all of you again. So thank you. Thank you.
Okay, board, thank you. Tonight I'd like to present for your approval our classified handbook. We wanted a handbook that would speak specific to our classified staff, which would be secretaries, IAs, custodians, etc. So we went through and really hammered out some information to make sure that during questionable times, classified staff would know specifically what our policy was. So for instance, when we talk about weather delays, things like that, as you will see on page 5, it lays out what our policy will be, school cancellation, e-learning, delays, things like that. We know this can be a very confusing time for classified staff as to whether to come in. So what we have done is given 3 what we call weather-related days that classified staff could take. And these would only be for weather cancellation days, e-learning days, things like that. As you move on further into the classified handbook, we used to have personal days. Classified staff would get 3 personal days. We understand that scheduling appointments, you have to take a half a day. We are searching for subs all the time. Going to paid time off will allow classified staff to only have to use like 1 hour to get to an appointment and possibly get back. Any classified staff that has already earned 3 days will just roll into 3 days of PTO starting next year. And then new employees, new classified staff, they would earn that PTO as they work. So again, no one would lose any days, it would just be converted over to paid time off. And again, if they had appointments or things like that that they had to run that wouldn't take a half a day, they could just use an hour or two or whatever met that need for that specific occasion. Sick leave then, same thing. We have outlined how many sick days per year each classified staff member would receive. We are going to cap it at 75 days. But again, any classified staff member who has more than 75 days earned will not lose any of those days at this time. So for example, if somebody has 125 days of sick time, they use 5 days, they would go down to 120, they would start with 120. It wouldn't be until they got below 75 that they would get additional days back. I hope that makes sense. Again, and that is more consistent with the districts around us as well. We compared our classified handbook with East Noble, with Columbia City, with Fremont, things like that, just to make sure that we're all on the same page. We also have given 2 additional holidays. So we're going to recognize for classified staff President's Day and Martin Luther King Day. So although we have taken some sick days away, we are giving the 3 weather-related days plus 2 additional holidays to give back some time to our classified staff.
Question on that. Do they have to have so many days of working? Because I know it used to be 180 days, they didn't have those. Most of them are 185s now or above,
Are we talking for
classified,
holiday pay?
holidays and stuff.
In here, it outlines if you're a 260, if you're 185, or if you're 180, like which days you work, it tells you which days you get off. So that way, again, they specifically know what their days off or what their paid holidays are, yeah.
In Board, we tried to simplify some things because what we had is a lot of people just doing different things. So this really brings everybody together. It puts everybody on a common schedule. It puts a common theme. So we really took some time away. We're trying to also thwart off, when you start looking at substitutes, I love the idea with paid time off. Instead of taking a half day or a whole day increments, it helps us when they're only gone for an hour. They get back in the building, hey, I have to get my teeth cleaned. It's at 8 o'clock. I'll be in. I'll see you at 9:30. So really, we're trying to kind of work with our employees, and we're trying to help things out as much as we possibly can.
Yeah, we're trying not to have as much confusion throughout the buildings, simplify it that way. Everyone is on the same page when it comes to whatever situation may occur during the course of the year. And again, if you look at page 12 and 13, you'll see kind of the different holidays that are offered depending on how many days that you work during the course of a year. So again, I ask you to approve the classified handbook.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we go ahead and approve the classified handbook.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mrs. Boots,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Maggart,
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Next up, board discussion informational items, board policy 4111, first reading.
Yes, Board, these are just our first policy readings. They come to you in 2 separate rounds, but we do have 2 policies that we want to bring just on a few updates. The first one that I have the report on tonight is on criminal history check. We talked about this last year. It's awfully driven by kind of our school staff attorneys that we have. It's also by the Indiana School Boards Association in kind of legislation. It's probably a 4 or 5 page document if you look at it. What we're really asking to look at is just update really 2 sentences that really kind of put us in a little better compliance. This will always be kind of a workable liquid document that I think will always be changed as we kind of go and as new laws are enacted. So we're not asking for a bunch of changes, but just for your information, there are just 2 sentences that we just kind of added in there and we highlighted those for you. So if you have questions, you can always reach out to us, but that is a fairly simple change in the policy.
Next up would be Board Policy 4240. Mr. Wagner.
And this one goes along with our classified handbook, and as you've seen in your packet, I'm asking for approval for the first reading to make some modifications, updates to our current 4240 policy. Everything that I've highlighted in yellow is what we already have in the policy, and what I have stricken out is essentially in the classified handbook. Part of the reason that we did that is so that we didn't have to come to you and ask for 2 readings every time we wanted to make a change. So for example, unless you want to take sick days away, that would be something we come and ask for 2 readings. It's outlined in the classified handbook. So we could make those small changes in the handbook falling under sick days, things like that. So again, if we struck it out like the holidays, we don't probably need to have them in the policy because they're in the handbook. So again, we give the information in the policy, classified staff will then refer to the handbook to get the specific information of that, that heading or that article. So again, I ask you for your first reading, and then we'll come back next month and hopefully get a second approval.
All right, thank you. New business. First up is Steuben County Community Foundation donation. Dr. Weed.
Yeah, Board, in your packet, I am requesting approval for a donation of $1,500. This comes from our Steuben County Community Foundation from our FIST kids. Our FIST kids are those kids that assemble from Hamilton, they assemble from Fremont and from us under the direction of Mrs. Danik, and they go out and do those good works and do that. Part of their job is they have an allocated pile of money that they like to dole out and to give out. So our teachers and students had the opportunity to write for some of these FIST grants, and 2 of those FIST grants have been accepted. The first one would be in the amount of $500 for Megan Crankshaw for Little Spots, a program that she has in her room. And then the second one would be for Donine Sparks in the amount of $1,000. Part of what they have written their grant for is for the train ride for incentive funds and those things through P Lake. So those kids had the opportunity to ride the train and to do some of those things. So it was an outstanding opportunity for them, but it was also a great opportunity to have that paid for by an outside organization. So I ask that you approve the $1,500 in donations from the Steuben County Community Foundation.
Do we have a motion?
I move to approve the funds from the FIST Steuben County Foundation.
Second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mrs. Boots,
Yes.
Caswell,
Yes.
Maggart,
Yes.
Aye.
Mr. Ridenhour.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next, permission to dispose of obsolete furniture.
Board, I'll invite Dr. Penrod up to the podium on this one to kind of help us too. Typically, we do when we start looking at things where we have to dispose of, because those are taxpayer items, there are certain laws and there are certain codes that we have to abide by. I'll have Dr. Penrod get into the weeds a little bit with that.
Thank you. Good evening. So as you know, Pleasant Lake looked a little different next year, and it's been a lot of years. Some of that stuff has not been used for quite a while, and so to kind of make room for that, as Dr. Wiedenhofer said, we need to dispose of. Because it is tax dollars, we can't just throw it away without some sort of acknowledgement at the board level. There's been schools that try to auction things off. A lot of times with what we're looking at, it's not probably not the most profitable thing. You might see a desk that goes for $1 or $2, and the auctioneer takes 40% of it. So at this point, we're asking you to declare it obsolete, and then we can find a way to dispose of it. That way of disposing of it for certain items may be an auction, might be a private a silent auction, or it could just be simply throwing it away if it has no value. So at this time, I'll answer questions, but ultimately, we're just asking you to deem this stuff that hasn't been used for a long time obsolete, so we can move on from it.
Is that something you would like advertise what it is? So if somebody does want an old desk from there or something like that, they can get it?
Yeah, we can do that. Typically it's like an auction, or if you do an auction, it's kind of like that, but Probably word of mouth, because it's not, I mean, we could put something in the paper for $200 as a legal ad and not make anything out of it. So I would probably suggest, it's safe to say most of this stuff will get thrown away. But if there is something of value as we're, you know, cleaning stuff out or whatever, we may end up with some sort of a, you know, taking bids kind of thing or something like that.
Word of mouth, when somebody
Yeah.
comes, who would they contact?
Probably business office and eventually, at some point me, and then we'll walk them through that.
If they want something,
Yeah,
because they've been there, and I mean, it's probably old stuff that.
yeah, yeah. A lot of times you see this with like.
Also recycle things, like if you have metal shelving.
Yeah, we can take stuff to recycling. Get a little bit of recycling.
And we have a plan, you know, we're gonna get over there and we'll go through each room. There are certain items that are gonna be great that we wanna use. There will be some items that that are really, really nice that we're not gonna use, but we're not gonna throw away because they're still usable. We'll store those over in our central gym. We do have a number of items that, you know, are broken items or shelving items that are, as soon as we start moving them around, they're just gonna crumble. So we want to get rid of them. So that's what we're really asking for permission tonight. We'll go through that diligently. We do have a plan. I spoke with Dr. Relu about tagging certain items, what's going to be good, what can we use, what just needs to get out of here. So those are things that we need to make room for some of our Montessori items that are going to be coming into the building here shortly.
Any other questions? If not, do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we go ahead and dispose or sell or whatever is best.
I'll say,
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Mrs. Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour?
yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next up, the Trine MOU. Dr. Relu, sorry.
So Board, we are entering, ending our second year of partnering with Trine University for their Transition to Teaching program. I'm asking your permission to approve the MOU for us to continue that into its third year. I am very excited that Trine recently was approved by the state as a registered teacher apprenticeship provider, which means the tuition that we have been paying to Trine for teachers to go through that program that we've been using grant funds for will now be funded by the state through that registered apprenticeship program. So as our grant funds are winding down, the state is going to be able to pick those costs up. And so we're very excited about that. But asking your permission to just move forward with that MOU to continue when we have teachers that want to come teach for us but don't have a license yet.
I move to approve the Trine MOU. Oh, sorry.
How many teachers do we have in the transition program?
Yeah, so in the first year, we had 4 teachers. This year, we have 3. Next year, I have just 1 that we are planning because we're still funding that. And then following that, with the apprenticeship program being approved, we can continue probably a couple a year, I imagine.
Out of the 4 that we originally signed up, are they still with us?
So we have 1 who has left the district. The rest of them are with us. And the person who left, we did not have a position for at the end of the year she had signed up to work with us.
I will also reapprove or make motion to accept the Trine MOU.
I'll second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Mrs. Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Boys and Girls Club of Elkhart at the middle school.
So Board, you have another MOU here to approve, and then also a description of the Hornets Nest program. The Boys and Girls Club of Elkhart runs Boys and Girls Clubs in several cities outside of Elkhart. They contacted us as they were looking to expand and sought our interest about that program. We've had a few different meetings with them, along with the YMCA, to talk about programming. In year one, which is our upcoming year, we're looking to recruit 60 sixth graders who would really benefit from having a place to go after school and specific activities that kind of the Boys and Girls Clubs are known for. Included that in that will be their Sluggish Eats program. They'll be doing nutrition and wellness activities, shopping, cooking, learning some of those skills using the kitchen there at Angola Middle School. They will have esports and gaming time. There'll be structured games and activities focused on team building. A lot of that will take place at the YMCA. And then obviously, time allocated for homework help and specifically focusing on reading and literacy skills. And then partnering with other programs as they get to know the community. So I'm happy to answer questions about that, but also very excited that they are bringing this to us. They will raise the funds to cover this, so there's no cost to us. And they're, other than transportation, if we choose to provide transportation to take children home like we do with the Literacy Coalition Base Camp program. But that could run alongside our athletic after-school routes as well.
All right, any questions? If not, do we have a motion?
So this would be centered at the Y after school?
So its home base will be at the middle school, and they will travel to the Y as needed.
Are there any schools that have already partnered that you're aware of with Elkhart?
Yes, but I cannot name them for you. I'm sorry. Yes.
One of the things that we looked hard at is just really the need for after-school care. If you look in just our immediate area, we have a lot of daycares that are closing their doors and closing up shops. So we really see this as a huge need for some of our parents who can continue to work and be in the workforce, but also make sure that their kids are taken care of, maybe get a little bit of a snack and a little bit of homework help. So we're excited to bring this forward to them to be able to offer something like that. So we're hoping parents and kids take good advantage of it, because I think, you know, if we can keep the kids with us, it keeps them out of trouble on some other things a little bit. And it provides a little bit of a structured background, and it also helps mom and dad out on some things. So like I said, it's a great program, and we'll hope you will vote yes to move forward with it.
Shauna, what about staffing?
So they will hire the staff directly, so that allows all of our staff to be eligible to apply for those positions. So they're not doing kind of that double duty or crossing over their 40 hours with us. So they'll be employed by the Boys and Girls Club. They will post, recruit, hire, provide benefits.
Do we have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve?
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archbold?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Maggart?
Yes.
Mr. Port?
Hey.
Mr. Ridenhour?
Yes.
Thank you. Next up, High Ability Program Evaluation, Dr. Relu.
So Board, each year we are required by statute to bring to you our high ability program evaluation, so you have that in your packet. I want to just kind of draw your attention to the ending document where we have the average scores. Our broad-based planning committee all ranks each of these criteria, and then we average the scores for each section. Our highest areas are in identification and curriculum and instruction. Where we're going to be focusing our grant efforts again this year are in the guidance and counseling aspect, and in personnel working to receive their high ability licensure or attending professional development on high ability strategies. We do have a growing number of students being identified for high ability. We've had to split our clusters across 2 sections in some of our buildings. So that's very exciting, but wanted to bring this to your attention and just ask your approval that we can submit this to the department with our grant application.
A motion, please.
Make a motion to approve the high ability program evaluation.
I second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald? Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Mrs. Boots?
Yes.
Mr. Caswell?
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart?
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour?
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Next up, paraprofessional training grant application. Ms. Barr.
Good evening. I want to start out with a couple of comments that our paraprofessionals touch every life in the buildings that they're in. And so many of them that are not assigned to special ed classrooms continue to meet the needs of special ed kids in a variety of different ways. So the state had offered an opportunity for us to apply for a paraprofessional training grant. I took it a little bit of a step further because I know that even if they're not assigned to a special ed classroom, they're dealing with special ed kids. They're throughout our building, and our paras need our support. So we want to provide this training for them. But I want to go through the paraprofessional requirements right now. Real briefly, the state at this time has some more flexible requirements than the federal requirements. This is now, but right now, to be considered a highly qualified paraprofessional, this person would have one of the following: 2-year degree, 2 years of college experience. They may have passed the paraprofessional, parapro assessment within the first year of employment. Another bullet point: 1 year or 1,000 hours of previous employment experience in a school working with kids. Another bullet point: passed an annual school level evaluation, completed 48 credit hours of college level classes. They may have Child Development Associate or CDA credentials. They may complete LEA required professional development modules or training, or completed other requirements, and we could request those approval from the IDOE. At this time, the offer that the IDOE is making does meet one of those bullet points, and that would be to complete the modules or training. And for some of our folks, that's exactly what they need. We want to, pardon me, offer them some opportunities to not only, we do have some requirements. First of all, confidentiality and so forth, that we have to spend some time with our folks every year, and we do that every year. But this will take us a little more into some core competency areas. So right now, they're learning about ethical practice. We go through that every single year with every single para, regardless of their assignment. But the other competency areas that we're looking at are to help strengthen the paraprofessional's capacity on learner development, individual learning differences, their capacity to implement strategies that maybe they're led by a teacher, but they need to carry through to address instructional supports and strategies, to follow through on strategies to support behaviors and positive behaviors interventions. So we have put together a grant that will help provide materials and help provide some module training to our paraprofessionals with the goal of kind of maybe attracting, enhancing, retaining some of the really good people that we already have. It's kind of a hybrid proposal, so some of it might be online, individual, some of it might be group, where we identify a particular set of lessons that we're going to work on as a group. so we can kind of share our thoughts and ideas. And the proposal is in your packet, so with your approval, we will move forward with the proposal for the paraprofessional grant and the acceptance of the award when it comes through. Any questions?
Do we have a motion? And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Boots,
Yes.
Caswell,
Yes.
Maggart,
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. Department of Homeland Security grant for cybersecurity. Dr. Manahan.
Good evening, Board. I think almost every month this school year, I've had a chance to talk to you about cybersecurity, and if that tells you anything, it's because every day I'm thinking about cybersecurity. This is an opportunity to apply for a grant from the Department of Homeland Security for up to $250,000, which would allow us to sign a multi-year contract with a startup company that is called Act Zero. You might remember that I came to ask you for permission to apply for the state and local government cybersecurity grant. Well, we got word that, yes, we are eligible and we would be awarded those funds if we accepted them, but they underestimated the demand from K-12 schools, and so what should have potentially been a 4-year grant turned out to be just 12 months. 12 months is a lot of work to move platforms, learn a new platform, ensure we're using it appropriately, and then to have to potentially move to something else. This new platform that I'm applying for, we did a proof of concept with them for 30 days. And I can tell you, I was sitting in an airport on my way back home after our COSIN National Conference, and there was a potential cyber incident. It turned out it was just Mrs. Yoder messing around in a training. But this platform was the only one that caught what was happening in our environment and alerted us that something needed to be done about it. So between working with the vendor to get the costs down and the potential of getting this amount of money, we could forge potentially a 5-year partnership with this company as they continue to improve. And the even better part is that their platform uses that same platform that we applied for the other grant in a single pane of glass, along with several other platforms tied to one view for us to get that holistic view of our environment. So with your permission, I will submit that application for the Homeland Security grant.
You say this was a startup company?
It is a startup company. It's based out of California. They've been around for 3 years, and that's still considered a startup in the ed tech world. So they're not brand new, but former FBI and Homeland Security members founded this company. It's not really targeted towards K-12, but some of the partners that we work with discovered this company was working with enterprise. That's why it is so expensive, and said, oh, K-12 really needs this. What can we do to work out a partnership to get that cost down? So I can tell you that the education discount is about 1/3 of what businesses are paying for this same product.
Do we have a motion?
I make a motion that we go ahead and accept that she can go for the grant for the Homeland Security. Second.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archibald,
Yes.
Mr. Beard,
Yes.
Mrs. Boots,
Yes.
Mr. Caswell,
Yes.
Mrs. Maggart,
Yes.
Aye.
Ridenhour.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries. Future meetings. All meetings are conducted here at 6 p.m. in the McCutcheon Administration Center boardroom unless otherwise noted. June 18th, July 16th, and August 20th, all regular meetings. Superintendent's report.
Yes, Board, good evening. Just a few things just to kind of report on. It was great having our top 10 kids here, especially congratulations to Kylie Caswell and Dad, Mom, valedictorians this year. Also Holly Schneider, who is our salutatorian, and just a great group of kids. And to reiterate, over $1.3 million in scholarship monies coming into that class. So that it is really something to see. Just a reminder, graduation will be on May 30th. That's a Thursday at 7 o'clock. I think Mr. Havens' plan is If the weather looks like it's going to be frightening, we're going to move it into the gym, but right now we're going to plan on doing it on our football field, kind of moving forward. Congratulations to Henry Park Elementary School for being named a family-friendly school designation from the Department of Education. If you remember last year, Mr. Curtis led Carlin Park through that same designation. It is a big deal. There is lots of work that goes with it, and Mrs. Brandt and her staff got that done. We were notified probably about 2 weeks ago. So probably at one of our near board sessions, what we'll do is we'll invite that group in because they worked hard, and I want to brag about them because it's a super cool designation to have. Congratulations to our middle school and high school band again. Both are recipients of the Indiana State School of Music Association All Music Award. They have gotten this year after year after year, and it's not just the high school, but it's the middle school as well. So Mrs. Shank and Mr. Myers have done a phenomenal job directing us through our music program and just all the wonderful things that kind of go on with that. Tomorrow is the last day of school. We are running on a regular day. We won't have collaboration or an hour delay. That will be a normal day. As you heard, we have our high school kids out moving around to all the elementaries, and for time's sake and some of those things, getting those kids around to enjoy the day. Summer school, as much as we end one school year, we jump right into summer school right off the bat. We'll start on Tuesday, May 28th. The YMCA kids, the ELC, high school and middle school will all have summer school kind of going on starting then, so it will be a busy time for us. And then also had the opportunity last week with a couple of other administrators. We had our very first class of firefighters get certified, and it was our fire safety kids. And you want to talk about some proud parents and kids who are excited that with their certifications, they can go to any fire service anywhere with their credentials and get on a department. So I want to give a huge shout out to Eric Kaiser, one of the chiefs, and then Doug Call, the head chief, for doing a wonderful job with that. I think our high school and then Benny Clark especially did a great job of really promoting that and getting those kids in there. What I think is significant, it is a great partnership with some of our other sister schools in Steuben County, especially with Prairie Heights and Fremont and Hamilton, to bring all those kids together and work for a common cause for the betterment of our community in Steuben. So super excited about that. I see the director is here, the newly named director, Mrs. Boots. One of the things that's kind of exciting a little bit, and you're going to have to stand up because we're going to brag about you here for a minute. Stand up. She runs our ACE program, and, you know, she is a well-known name, and, you know, we've heard her name lots, but here's what I want you to understand. She just graduated 24 kids out of the ACE Academy that will be going through graduation or have the possibility to walk through graduation, and that is a tall task. Those kids have worked hard, but she and her staff have worked even harder. So we are super proud of you and your staff, and we are super proud of the kids, so congratulations to you. Lastly, we have a couple of board things that we need to do. First of all, I'd like to recognize, we are converting Pleasant Lake Elementary to Pleasant Lake Montessori, and with that comes new teachers, new staffings, and we have our new principal now. So tonight I'd like to introduce to you, because she's sitting in the back row kind of hiding a little bit. So Sarah Clary, stand up, please. This is our new principal at Pleasant Lake Montessori. Go ahead, so you get to say a few words. Go.
I'm very excited for this new adventure, so thank you, board, for trusting me to lead at Pleasant Lake. Pleasant Lake is very near and dear to my heart. I'm excited to be back there, and I'm excited for the opportunity to offer this unique and high-quality school option for our families. So thank you.
Great.
That's not a very proud smile back there, Mom.
Well, first of all, you're welcome, because you won't have to put that boat in and out and tow her skiing every day, because she will be busy doing some other things, so you get a little bit of a reprieve. The second thing I think I see him sitting on the end is we have a brand-new varsity boys basketball coach. So, Coach, we need you to stand. So we want to introduce to you tonight, Coach Brian Weber will be our new head coach. So, Coach, welcome, and we're glad you're here. What would you like us to focus on, offense or defense? All right, just checking. What would you like to say?
Just really excited. Thanks for everybody that believed in me that I could
Great. Welcome, Coach. We look forward to your first season here with us. And then lastly, with Mrs. Clary being our new Montessori principal, that's a shift from Mrs. Elwood. Mrs. Elwood has shifted over to the position of District Support Services Coordinator for us. Her focus will be on 504, special education, EL education, ILPs. There's a whole host of things for her to get busy on. So we're excited on the shifts and transfers that we have. And board, I know that was a lot, but that's all I have to report on right now.
Thank you. Any board member communication?
Yeah, I just want to, first of all, congratulations, Brian. I want to congratulate all of our new hires. I also want to congratulate all the retirements that I looked in our packet. You know, there's some great teachers that are retiring this year after many, many years of faithful service to this corporation. I also want to congratulate the class of 2024. Hard to believe we're graduating next week. And I also want to thank and congratulate all those people that made sure that when those kids entered as kindergartners, they made it all the way through to the 12th grade, whether it was the bus driver that brought them to school, the lady that served them lunch, the custodians that made sure that they had a safe building to be in, and all the teachers that have invested so much time into this class. And I want to wish them the best of luck. The other thing I wanted to bring up is, I don't know if you guys get the paper, but you know, all this stuff, when our neighboring school decided that they needed to have another referendum, you started looking in the paper and there were all these articles about how great a job they were doing and everything like that. And I think what happened is, while they started to do all that, I think we got left out a little bit. And the one article that really got my ire was when they were talking about how they were some kind of a national award school. And I can't remember the total article. And in headlines, it had them and everything like that. And then the last sentence, it said that we were in there and we were like 40 points ahead of them and we got no mention. So I think we really need to do a better job of getting out there and telling people the great things that we're doing in this fantastic corporation. Wish everybody a great summer, too.
Well said, Mark. I 100% agree with that. Welcome back, Brian. Good to have you back in the district. And Sarah, congrats. Best of luck to you. And then Tammy, your change, that's great. So thank you to all the teachers for this year, getting the kids through. 'Cause the kids graduate, but then you also get time to not look at kids. So, unless you're doing summer school. So enjoy the summer. Definitely has went by fast. If there's nothing before the board, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Motion that we adjourn, everybody have a safe and great summer.
And the vote, please.
Mr. Archbold?
Yes.
Mr. Beard?
Yes.
Yes.
Caswell?
Yes.
Maggart?
Yes.
Ford?
Aye.
Yes.